Hey, this is David Wynn with the Mortgage Edge podcast brought to you by Click and Close Mortgage. Today, I have a very special guest from Arkansas, Sally Swick. Sally, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Appreciate having me here.
Yeah, so what part of Arkansas are you in, Sally?
So I live in Rogers, Arkansas, which is in northwest Arkansas, like the corner,
Mm-hmm.
very northwest corner, right across the border from Missouri and Oklahoma.
Gotcha. So isn't that the home of Walmart?
It
Where
is.
you're at?
Bentonville is right across the street, and it is the home of Walmart. Also, Tyson, J.B. Hunt, University of Arkansas, all right here.
Oh wow. So you're in a mega area.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
let's talk about real estate in the Arkansas area. Well, let's talk about you first. How long have you been a realtor?
I started, actually at the end of 19, I decided I was going to get my license in 20. Not knowing what the market was going to do or anything. We actually lived in Minnesota. My husband was taking a job down here. And so our middle child was graduating high school that year. So I said I would stay in Minnesota with her, let her finish high school. And then we'd come down and check out the area. So beginning of January of 20, I started doing my license work and got licensed. And then obviously it was COVID. And everything kind of went crazy.
Let's talk about that. The industry blew up. If you were, you were walking and you fell over loans. People were selling houses left and right. People were refinancing. I mean, it was those 2 years during COVID was the best time in history of housing ever.
Yeah.
As a rookie, how did you do?
I hit the ground running. It was kind of trial by fire, right? I went in and I was writing contracts. I mean, I would write a contract a day. I would be showing we'd be writing, I'd say I had a contract with a client, and we'd go look at a house. It'd be a contract. We'd offer it for the next day. You had about 15 minutes to decide whether or not you were going to buy this big home,
Yeah.
And if it didn't, we'd write the contract. And if it was like you had 24 hours to look at it, or maybe 3 hours, whatever, it was very short.
Yeah.
And we'd have to write another one the next day. And so I was writing a lot of contracts, and I really just had a lot of immersion into the whole system. And I don't know, I just kind of picked it up and went with it. And it's been busy ever since.
Yeah, it has been. And let's talk about that. Before you got into real estate, I think you were stay-at-home mom for what, 12 years? Is that right?
Yes. So, well, yeah, for the most part. So my husband was active duty Air Force, and we lived overseas for 17 years. So we raised 3 kids, and I homeschooled. I'd always been in sales. I had originally went to school to be an architect.
Oh, wow.
And yep. So then we went overseas while I was in my master's program. Thought I was going to be back within 3 years, pick up where we left off, and life happened. And it was just a different plan. So, so I have always loved architecture in homes. And then I homeschooled my kids my oldest was in 4th grade when I started, and my youngest just graduated this last year. So I've homeschooled, and I worked in jewelry and in sales in the Mall of America, actually, when the mall was opening. And so real estate just kind of was a combination of all those things. I was able to bring in my love of architecture, my education, the value that I feel is important about education, and also sales, all into this career. And that's what I did. And so it's worked out. I love it.
Yeah, I could tell you, if there's anything you should be a realtor. You're really good at it. Your numbers show. We won't talk about that, but I mean, it's just you've done nothing but grow year over year. What is it about real estate that is it just a natural fit for you? What is it?
I think so. I mean, and also my love language is acts of service. So for me, I feel like everybody deserves a home, whether you're going to rent or you're going to buy. I'm helping everybody, and coming into the market at a time when you didn't have, you had to drop everything if you saw a house you liked, because if you didn't see it in the next 30 minutes, you probably didn't get to see it because it would go under contract. And I just kind of feel like, helping people to get into a home that they love and that's going to work for their family. I think I get just as much excitement and joy out of it as my clients do. So yeah,
I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no bigger joy than to hand someone their keys, right, to their home. And that's what
Yeah,
I mean. That's what
I
you.
just get so excited for them.
Me too. Me
I
too.
think that I might thrive off that high that you get from that adrenaline. You're like, oh my gosh, we got it ready. Here we go. So
Right.
yeah,
Well, let's talk about your area. Let's talk about the Rogers Bentonville area. It's of all the areas in Arkansas, that's probably the largest growth, I would say. People always coming and
absolutely.
going and stuff like. Do you got a lot of? Is it internal because of all the factories and Walmart and all that stuff? Is a lot of people moving there, or is it just all people moving in the town?
Yeah,
What do
well,
you have?
funny you ask. We have 37 people move here a day.
Holy cow! Yeah,
So yeah, so the area is expanding like crazy. There's new construction everywhere, whether it's, commercial or residential, everything is expanding, and the infrastructure as well. So, um, I think for Arkansas, I think I just read the other day that it's the largest venture capital area in Arkansas. Everything
yeah.
is just growing. They expect this area to double in size within the next probably 5 years and double again. So it had been a very small community. And in
Yeah.
the last 10 years, it's just growing crazy. And now with Walmart, they just built their world headquarters here, so they're bringing in a lot of corporate. So we've got a lot of relocation that happens coming here for that, and not just Walmart, also JB Hunt and Tyson, and then also the recruiting that we receive from the University of Arkansas. So
That's awesome. Well, let's talk about that market a little bit. In the last probably 6 months or so, inventory has gone up, right? But it's still not at the levels that they should be. What's the inventory look like where you're at?
you would ask me numbers. I don't actually know the numbers. I mean, we still have a shortage here.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I think our homes this year, the cost of homes have gone up, obviously, but the rate of increase has tapered, which is nice. So we're not like that pandemic level that we were at. And houses sit on the market, maybe I think our average might be 60 days, 65 days right now.
Yeah.
But we still have a huge turnover. I mean, we're closing nonstop, so it's still a big growth. Things, slowed down, I'd say just a little bit right before the election, but I think
Yeah.
that always happens. People kind of want to wait and see what the turnout's gonna be. But with Walmart relocating so many people here, and they have to decide whether or not they're going to take the job, and then they only have so much time to move here. So that really is keeping us moving. So like I just got another relo client this morning that I just talked to him about 20 minutes ago, moving here for Walmart. So
How do you get the relocations? Are you working with a relocation company, or how
well,
do they find you? Or
so Lindsay and Associates is one of the bigger real estate companies around in the area here. So I think there's 3 brokerages that are part of the reload program through Walmart. And it's not just Walmart; they do Procter and Gamble and other things like that are also here. But yeah, so it's just they have clients that they know, or their employees that are going to relocate here. Then they kind of assign them to the different agencies, and then they talk to us, kind of interview us or whatnot, and then we move forward with trying to help them either to find a rental just to get into the area to figure out what's going on and where they'd like to be, or if they want to purchase right away.
That's
And the
awesome.
same with as if they're leaving, if they're relocating elsewhere, we help them with the sale of their home and that.
So let's talk about that. What percentage of your business is relocation?
Well, as I told you right before we started, I don't really keep track of my numbers because
Yeah.
I'm not a numbers gal. I'm more of just my client. I'm really about service.
Right.
And so, but I would say we also have a large opportunity to, since our website, we have a huge website viewing for the company. And so people call on properties. And so we have this, you can sign up for floor duty is what it is if you want to answer the calls. So you'll have like a 2-hour slot where you can answer phone calls. So you get a lot of people will call in about properties, whether they want to rent or buy or sell as well. So, I mean, I would say probably 80% of my customers come from either it's going to be a relo or from some sort of floor duty. The other 20% are probably my repeat clients because I've only been doing this for about coming on 4.5 years. Yeah. So yeah, and we moved to this area. I didn't know anybody. I was brand new. My sphere of influence was zero.
Well,
So
let's talk about that. It sounds like the brokerage is the place to be. You give your brokerage a plug. I mean, it sounds like they're giving you
absolutely.
leads left and right. A lot of brokerages just don't do that, and it's the organic leads. So
Yes.
that's awesome. So you're not having to out there and hunt and peck, and they're
No.
providing you a lot of support out there.
Absolutely. I give Lindsay and Associates complete credit for my success in this business, and I've had other people that started when other agents started when I did, and they've flipped through several different agencies, and they're like, "How are you doing it?" And I'm like, "I'm just going to give it credit to Lindsay. They're the ones that have helped me to become successful." And we have a great broker, Suzette Sparks. She was a commissioner for the state, so that was very knowledgeable, lots of interest or involvement with us and knowledge on the subject. And then our company is just set up where everybody helps everybody. That's not competition. So we all help each other to be successful.
Well, that's awesome. So, Sally, I know, but our guest, our audience, I know. Is it just you, or do you have a team? What does your structure look like?
I do it on my own. I do have an assistant that helps me with some of the, my social media and stuff, but I'm not big in social media either. So I place all my focus on trying to help my clients and giving them good customer service and passing on along my knowledge about the business and the process so that they can have a smooth transaction in buying or selling their home. But yeah, just me right now. I have to look into maybe having a team, but we'll see how that goes. So.
Well, you're busy, woman. Are you working 7 days a week? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I'd probably say that. I mean, I've recently tried to cut back a little bit more, but again, I'm kind of here's my cell number. Give me a call anytime. I understand that the business. I know how it works. There's deadlines. We don't have time to wait for an agent to call you back or to do a showing in 3 days when they have the time. So I really try to make myself available.
Yeah.
I would kind of say I don't really have a work-life balance, but I don't know if there's really a work-life balance that really exists. But if one of my clients I was working with called me at 8:30 and said they found a new house they really liked, I would look and see if we could go see it immediately. And if it was a possibility, we'd get it into it or right away in the morning. So I'm just all about trying to make sure that I'm available for my clients so that I can help them with the process. But I am trying to have a little bit more boundaries, like my weekends, trying to not do things on weekends if I can and leave my Fridays a little bit less packed. And actually lately I've been saying, okay, let's not schedule anything on Fridays, but my Fridays are still something's going on. So
Yeah.
it ends up being, the catch-up day, really.
Let's talk about that. I do believe you're an empty nester. Is that correct? Kids are all gone?
Well, our youngest just graduated high school, but he is still at home. So he's working and going to be doing online class school.
Okay.
And then our oldest two actually just live 2 doors down.
That's awesome. And then I think you said your daughter may be coming to work with you as a realtor. Is that correct?
Yes, she's actually my assistant right now. So she's learning. She's going through the classes and going to get her license as well. She's also a sign language interpreter. So she just went to school for that and got her degree in Minnesota. And so being here in Arkansas, she'll have to take some tests to be able to do interpreting down here. But yeah.
It sounds like it's a family affair. And what's your hubby do?
My husband, he works for a company called CRI, and he's a human resource senior manager.
Gotcha. So retired from the Air Force, and now he's civilian life. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, a lot of people have choices there. Obviously, you're not the only realtor out there. Why should they pick you over every other realtor, Sally?
Well, there are a lot of realtors that have been here longer than I have or been in the business longer than I have. But I can say that when you call me, I will pick up the phone. When you send me a text, I'm going to respond. I've had other clients that are like, okay, are you going to have the time for me? And I'm like, yeah, I will definitely make the time for you. And I'll let you know if we have a problem or if I have an appointment coming up or a vacation scheduled or something like that. But really, it's my service and my dedication to my clients and trying to help them the best that I can. So, like I said, they can have a smooth transaction. These are the biggest purchases that some people make in their entire life. And I want to make sure that they're not getting into something that's a bad investment, and also to make it a smooth one, so it's not so stressful. And I'll take care of all the deadlines for them and make sure they know what's coming up next, and just informing of everything so that it's good. And I've had so many clients tell me that, you know, they just really appreciate everything that I'll do for them, and that, you know, they just love what I've done for them. And it just kind of melts my heart to know that, you know, my effort pays off and that people notice it. And so I'm about my clients, not me.
Acts of service.
That's true. That's it.
That's your calling cards. That's your love language. So you put it out there. That's awesome. Well, Sally, we could sit here and talk to you all day long about everything, but I know you're busy, and you know, it's Friday. Was it 4 days before Christmas?
Yeah.
and you got to get out there and do that. What do we not talk about that we should have talked about today?
I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I think if people are interested and they would like to get in touch with me, I'm happy to help, even if they just have any questions. But if they want me to be their realtor, you can give me a call at 952-277-9191. That's my cell. You can call me directly on that, and I'm happy to get in touch with them. And I have a website on our company's website. If you went to lindsay.com/Sally Swick, you'd find my landing page. But I don't spend a lot of time doing my social media or anything. And I'm more about just, here's my phone number, give me a call, let me see how I can help you.
Absolutely. And if you're watching live, folks, you saw that go across the lower thirds. And I can tell you this, if I'm looking for real estate in the Rogers-Bentonville area, there's only one lady I'm calling, and that's Sally. You are a phenomenal realtor. I see big things happen for you and your team in 2025, Sally. Well, thank you for being on this. Thank you for being on this show today. I'm David Wynn with the Mortgage Edge podcast. See you this. Bye, guys.